Hello everyone, my name is Lucas Mathis and I got Accumulo NoSQL tool for IS330. So I decided to make a simple website to kind of go through a quick start guide for Accumulo for those who are unfamiliar with it. So basically what Accumulo is a robust scalable data storage and retrieval system based on Google's Big Table, which is something many of you may have heard of that your databases are based on also. It's built on Apache Hadoop, Zookeeper, and Thrift. Its improvements on the big table design are the server-side programming mechanisms and cell-based access control, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Some of its other benefits are also large rows, constraints, and sharding. So Accumulo is a wide column store type database, and um, I thought DB engines did the best job at giving a definition for what wide column stores are, so I thought I'd share that with you all. Wide column stores, also called extensible record stores, store data in records with an ability to hold very large numbers of dynamic columns. Since the column names as well as the record keys are not fixed, and since the record can have billions of columns, wide column stores can be seen as two-dimensional key value stores. So basically, wide column stores can hold very large numbers of dynamic columns. I think Amelia described it herself as basically flipping a relational database upside down. So instead of storing things by rows, they're stored by columns. Some of the benefits of using wide column stores are they're highly scalable, they sort directly from the database, their indexing abilities, and their increased granularity. So why would you use Accumulo over some of the other NoSQL databases? Well, I thought it would be a good time here to describe some of the history of Accumulo because that kind of describes of why it was built and the benefits that it could offer. So basically, Accumulo was based off Google's Big Table design, and NSA, uh, the spy agency, was who decided to kind of look into Big Table and create their own database designed off of that. So basically, what they came up with was Accumulo, um, which originally was called Cloudbase by the NSA. And the way they improved their big table database was they added cell level security. So basically, it allows organizations to make use of it and let users access only particular fields of the database, which is something that most databases do not offer. It also provides iterators, which are server-side programming mechanisms, which I talked about a little bit earlier. But that's something that the NSA offered or added to the big table design. So they basically created it in 2008 and handed it to Apache Software Foundation in 2011. I'm sure many of you heard of Apache Software Foundation with your own databases because from the videos I was watching, most of our tools were Apache tools, and uh, the Apache Foundation basically means all those are open source, and many developers work to make them what they are. So it was made open source in 2011 through the foundation and as an incubator project. I believe in 2012, sometime early, it became one of their top level projects. So some of Accumulo's competitors. Their two main competitors are Cassandra and HBase, which is Hadoop. Their database model is wide column stores also, so that's why they're their main competitors. Um, Among the three, Accumulo holds a third place score on DB engines for wide column store models, ahead of Hypertable and Squirrel. Among all the types of database listed, Accumulo is currently listed as 57th overall. So that's really not too bad, somewhere in the middle there. So the system requirements for having Accumulo. So Accumulo is made to store on a lot of different servers spread out instead of one system. It's made to hold a lot of data in a secure fashion. So it's made to run on 2 or 3 systems simultaneously layered across a cluster. HDFS, which is the Hadoop file system, Accumulo, and MapReduce hardware should consist of about 4 to 8 cores and 8 to 32 gigabytes of RAM. So, although you don't necessarily always need to run all that for a test, if you were running a live server, that's probably what you would need. Apache Cumulo 1.7 has an updated set of minimum requirements, which include Java 7, Hadoop 2.2 or greater, and Zookeeper 3.4 or greater. So how do we install Cumulo? I didn't go through the motions of installing it myself. It requires a lot of pre-installed software, such as Java 7, Hadoop, Zookeeper. But those all must be installed and configured before installing Apache Cumulo. To install Accumulo via the command line, there's a command here to enter. And then once that Accumulo is configured by edits made through its shell and XML files, which can be found in this directory right here. The structure very closely resembles Hadoop's configuration files, which I mentioned that because a lot of the other databases use Hadoop as well. So it's a common tool that a lot of people are familiar with. So once Accumulo is installed, you have to point Accumulo in the right direction of where all these other tools are: Java 7, Hadoop, Zookeeper, and this this is just a list of directions. I won't go through them one by one, but that's what you need to do when you install it: is go through and point Accumulo in the right direction to where these other softwares are here. So using Accumulo, I thought I'd just give a good example here of how similar it is to some of the things that we in class already know. You know, create tables, create password. You can add, remove, and grant privileges. So this is a really good example. There are also many ways to run Java code that uses Accumulo. Some of the ways to execute client code are using a Java executable, using a Accumulo script, or using the tool script. Integrated software. I've already talked about all the integrated software here. You know, I provided some links here for anyone that's interested in finding out more about any of these tools. A lot of them are very common tools. So, and here are the resources I used, and some great resources for finding out and learning more about Accumulo and its the softwares that are integrated with it. Accumulo Summit is a great tool here, a great website that is for the developers and businesses that use Accumulo to grow and learn more about the abilities of Accumulo, and it's just a great community that is surrounded by Accumulo users. So, all right, well, Accumulo is your quick start guide, and I hope you all have a great break.